Alright, Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites. We come out week in and week out, prophesy the downfall of this sinful kingdom called America, also known as Babylon. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Ha, Rukwah, Kodash, Ma. Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone, and salutations to all the oxygen around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth to sincerity. Alright, bring out the first scripture. This is 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 16. Because it is written, be holy, for I am holy. And that goes back into being separate, okay? And not following the ways of the heathen, all right? The word holy means separate, okay? And the children of Israel is supposed to be separate from all these nations.
God, and here it is in 2000. Well, supposedly they say it's 2019. They say it's a new year, but it's not a new year. New years don't come in until spring. You know, so we don't supposed to be following the custom of the heathens. And you have a lot of mass of our people following the custom of these heathens. 2/3 of our people, man.
Right. And you know what? That wasn't the plan to start this lesson off with that scripture, but that's the spirit, man. Bottom line, that's what the Lord is saying, man. You know, be ye holy as He is holy, man. If you believe that, if you call yourself a believer in the Most High, a believer in God in any aspect, then you're supposed to be holy as He is holy. So what y'all are doing, y'all are corrupted as your idols are corrupted, as your imaginations are corrupted. If you follow after New Year's and Christmas and all these holidays and folly days, see that? But the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He's a separatist. You know, He say what? He seeketh those to worship Him in what? Spirit and truth. You know? You got one? Precept what? You get that Ephesians, true worship with it?
This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. So just like the brother was saying, man, all right, if you out here following after your idols and your idols are rooting out wickedness, man, you're going to be a part of that wickedness too. So those who are ruling over you and you following after them, man, you're just as wicked as they are. Because you're following after those same atrocities that they're teaching.
Yep. Go ahead, brother. You got precept.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 8. It says, but that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it. He, because he made it, and because being corruptible, it was called a god or a deity.
Right, and this is that's a minded scripture, meaning spiritually. All right, all these idols that people worship through their imagination, through their spirit, you know, those idols go back, that mindset, those deities go back to a physical, actual idol, all the way back to Rome and Greece, and Babylon and Assyria, and even Persia and the Medes. Our people worshiping these physical idols from those times, and worshiping people that were existing around those times, like Nimrod, you know, and Tammuz. And they're physically worshiping them today in the spirit. That's why they say, Scripture say this is spiritually Sodom, spiritually Egypt, spiritual Nineveh, spiritually Babylon. The word Babylon means confusion. All right? So when you follow after these customs, like New Year's, when you know that the New Year starts in the spring, you know, and even on top of that, the Scriptures say that, common sense says that the new month would begin the new year. Or the new year would begin with a new month. And that new month would have to be a new moon. And there was not a new moon last night. You know, so they couldn't, in no ways could it be the new year. Alright? Go ahead with this, the 2 Peter one.
Alright, this is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 16.
Right.
So, for we have not followed commonly devised fables.
So, look, and these are fables that were cunningly devised, man. You know, what's that, Maccabees, where it say our people followed after them? Or Psalms, where it say the Confederate against us? Psalms 83, man. Alright, so he said what? We have not followed. Who is that? It's talking about the elect. The ones that were not defiled with women, with the philosophies and lies and theories of this world, and the ways of Esau. You know? Like you got John 8:44. Go ahead when you got it.
Alright, this is Psalms chapter 83, verse 3.
Yep.
it says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right, and they consulted against us. You know who they consult with? They consulted together. They consult with their deities, their demons. That's what you call secret society. You know, and just to get our people to go off and follow their customs, man, like New Year's, Christmas, when the Lord was born in the springtime, man. The New Year starts with spring, Abayab or Abyabah, which means to spring up. All right, what you call a bib. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, this is John chapter 8, verse 44.
Yep.
Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do.
Right, so that's why the brother said earlier, 2/3 of our people, they follow after the ways of these heathens, man. You know, the ways of Julius Caesar, because that's who started your New Year's. And he started in 45 BC, we're going to get that too. And going back to Babylon and Assyria. All right, you know, instead of following the ways of our God, Abraham, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh.
Precept.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 16. You don't got that, do you?
It don't matter what.
All right. This is it says, thus in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law. And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
Yeah, and that's in the old times. And even today, you're indirectly worshiping these idols. You know, when you think you're praising the Most High, that's why Hosea 4:6 says our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. All right? Go ahead, brother.
All right. Verse 17. Whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt far off, they took the counterfeit of his visage of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this their foreigners they might flatter him that was absent, as if he was present.
Right. So you can break that down if you got a thought on it, man.
Oh, come, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like the brother was saying, man. You know, you got 2/3 of our people out here worshiping all these other deities, false deities, as if they're worshiping the Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. All right, they putting all this effort into these false deities, but they don't even know how to worship to the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, who is their true God. All right, they're not doing the things that are pleasing to Him.
All right, brother. Go ahead, finish that, John 8:44.
John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil.
Right, the deceiver. That's what the word devil means. Esau. All right, go ahead.
And the lust of your father ye will do.
Right, because if you were of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you would be in the truth. You would follow the truth. If somebody says the new year does not start around this time, if you're worshiping a deity called Janus, and they prove it to you, you're supposed to follow the truth, man. You know? Go ahead.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
Right, and he murdered our people twofold. He murdered us physically and spiritually with Greece and Rome. And they murdered our king, Yahushua. So we're supposed to be in mourning right now, man. All right, go ahead.
And the bold not in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
Right, so if you follow after your authority, the devil, then there's going to be no truth in you either. All right, that was it. On that? All right, go ahead.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Right, man. So the Lord created Esau, the so-called white man, to be the wicked upon this earth. Because they're the spiritual counterpart of the devil that's in the spiritual realm. All right, good, brother. Yeah, you hold your two. Go ahead. Yeah, you can be piled up soon.
Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Right. You can speak too. Go ahead. To the law, meaning the keeping of the law that was given to Moses, you know, and also to the testimony. Our testimony is supposed to be about Yahushua, man, the Messiah from the tribe of Judah, and the things he kept, which is the Passover, you know, and all the holy days of the scriptures. All right, that were given to us when we came out of Egypt, when the Lord created us into becoming a nation, man. All right, go ahead. Anything I missed?
This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the laws that endure forever.
Right.
All that keep it shall come to light, but such as leave it shall die.
Right, man. So those that wander out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. A lot of people that were celebrating last night, they were nothing but dead people, man. Yeah, he said, I see dead people, man. You know, a bunch of dead bodies just dancing.
Getting drunk.
Getting drunken.
And that's what it says in, what is it, Luke 17, where it says, as in the day of Noah, they were drinking and dancing and giving in marriage. And that's what you seen last night, people being married. But just like the elder said, man, we're supposed to, man, they killed our king, Yahweh Shai. Right. Not only physically did they crucify him, but guess what? All right, they killed him, crucified him again with the image and with all these false idolatries. Got our people that are sincere, that have a natural zeal to worship the Most High, but they don't have it according to knowledge.
They killed him
so
last
he manipulates that whole thing.
Right, they killed him. They basically crucified him afresh last night by causing our people to sin even more.
To add sin on top of sin.
Right, man. The Lord is long suffering, man. You know, he's pissing him off.
Quick indigestion.
And he said, what? Kiss the Lord lest he be angry and you perish from the way. That means acknowledge him. That's what it means by kiss. Give him spiritual recognition, man. All right, go ahead, brother. Finish these two. All
right, it says, it's Wisdom of Solomon 14:6. It says, for in the old time, also when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world governed by the hand escaped in weak vessels and left all ages a seed of generation.
Right, and that's talking about the Nephilim, which represents the fallen one. All right, and 2/3 of our people are still fallen in that dead mind state. You know? Go ahead.
For blessed is the wood whereby righteousness cometh.
Right. And we were saved in what you call a weak vessel that was called what? A boat. And in these times, we're being saved in our weak vessels. You know? But in the spiritual boat that's being created, a spiritual ark. You know? And the Lord said, because you had just a little strength, He's going to increase your strength from that point. If you can get through these hard times, these dark days of all these fucking lies, man. Go ahead.
It says, but that which is made with hands is cursed.
Right. So that which is made with hands, all your churches, everything that you built up in this society is cursed, man. All right. If man has deceived you and you follow after man's deception, you're cursed. All right. Go ahead, brother.
As well, it is as He that made it. He, because He made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God. For
right, man. You're talking about your idols, just like the brother brought out earlier.
For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto Yahweh.
Right, man. The ungodly would represent 2/3 of our people. And it said what?
It says the ungodly and his ungodliness.
Yeah, the ungodly, 2/3 of our people, and the natural born heathen. All right, go ahead.
It says, for that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it.
Right, so everything that America built up, everything that you're celebrating over, your job, your money, your wealth, hoping for a better 2019. What you hoping for? A better job in this wicked ass place? You know? How can the Lord mark you for being angry about anything? He said, mark them that are angry, that hate seeing wickedness. You know? Oh, go ahead, brother.
So therefore upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation.
Yep. So and the Lord is visiting your damn idols, man. You know, and that's just it. We already know that. So, all right, go ahead.
So because in the creature, it says, because in the creature of Yahweh they are becoming an abomination and stumbling block to the souls of men.
Right, and it become a stumbling block to who? The children of Israel, man. These goddamn idols. And what's that in Maccabees where he say looked into the book and start to paint the likeness of their images.
It says,
I got
let's get that real quick. Okay, go ahead.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48.
Yep.
And laid open the book of the law wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Right, that's why he said cunningly devised fables, man. And this is Antiochus. You know, before the rededication of the temple, where they looked into our books and studied our words. That's what it says. Looked into the book of the law at that time, because the whole book wasn't written yet. So they looked into the part of the books that were written, and they sought to trick and add in their idols, like Zeus and shit like that, and twist the story up, man. All right, going back to that idol worship. All right, so that's what you're doing today. Our people are following the ways of Esau, man. First Maccabees, where it says the gem was made and all that.
1:11.
1:11. Let's get that real quick.
This is Maccabees, First Maccabees chapter 1. Yeah, I'm gonna start at.
You finished?
Alright, bro.
First Maccabees chapter 1, I'm gonna start at verse 14.
Yeah.
It says, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the custom of the heathen,
I think it's something.
and made themselves. Start at 11. Alright. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
Alright, man, so, you know, and that was talking about people that were what? Paganized by the Diadochi, by Antiochus, when he made his first rounds coming into Jerusalem, and the 2/3 minded people at that time of Israel started following him. And they got jealous around 169 BC, and they said, you know what? The rest of the people in Jerusalem need to be pagans like us. And Antiochus was like, you know what? You're right. And that's when all that shit went down, when they ransacked the temple. All right, in 168 BC. All right, so our people became paganized. Our people started following after the customs of the heathen, man, with New Year's, Christmas, and all these false holidays. But right now we're talking about your false New Year, because it's not the New Year. The New Year starts in spring. Everything dies in the winter. All right?
It says, it says,
oh, that was it. Go ahead. Appreciate it too.
All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 11. It says, therefore, when upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of Yahweh they are become an abomination.
Right, because in the creature of Yahweh, who is that? Talking about the elect. Look, 2/3 of our people. Idols are created, but it has its effect on the mind, and that's what we're set up to do: is destroy the idols that are in your mind today. You destroy it in the mind, it has no power. It's just like a damn table or a chair that you sit on. You know?
So basically, we're trying to tear down that image of that statue that was set up in the temple. Because where's the temple today? The temple is the body of the children of Israel.
Right. Yep. In the mind, the conscience of Israel. You know? You said another point in that last verse too.
All right. It says.
I'm gonna cut you off.
All right. It says, therefore, upon the idols of the Gentiles.
Yes, go ahead.
Shall there be a visitation?
Right, so the Lord has a beef, an issue with these idols, man. He said he will not share his glory with no one else. You know, set no God before him, no idol before him, no power, no nothing. You know, so his issue is with these idols that were created by man to show that he's the only power. He's a jealous power. Now, if he's going to attack them, he's going to attack anybody that embodies that deity or idol. And that represents, if you following at the Assyrian idols, if you following at the Esau's idols, if you following at the any pagan idols, because it was all pagan. Even the Babylonians were pagan. All right, and the word pagan goes back to the word Satan.
All right, it says, because in the creature of Yahweh they are becoming an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men.
Right.
And a snare to the feet of the unwise.
Right. New Year's is a snare to the feet of the unwise, man. Leading you as a sheep to the slaughter. Alright?
Alright, it says
more ways for you to spend money like Christmas or Black Friday.
It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
The devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, man. What's that? Adultery. Alright? And that's what you people are committing today when you celebrating your New Year's. And when you people that claim to be in the truth or believe, all of a sudden you just switch up on these holidays because you get emotional. You used to seeing your family, so you call your family members, hey, Happy New Year. I know you don't celebrate it, but you can cause your child to go off and be destroyed by doing that. Alright, go ahead, brother.
It says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
Right,
and
man. No, without these idols, you wouldn't have such thing called spiritual adultery. All right, go ahead.
And the invention of them, the corruption of life.
That's right. The invention of them is the corruption of the laws. All right, that's the corruption of the truth, the corruption of life, man. That's what's corrupting this goddamn place. All these people following after these idols, and they get what? The curses that come with those idols, man. You know, and they following after the mindset of those idols, what it teaches them to do. So like Egyptologists, they got their own way of thinking, man.
It says, for neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end.
Right. So how can your idols last forever if man can't last forever? So your imagination is less than the grass that's on the ground. So everything that man imagines is going to be destroyed, you know. And Yahushua is a proven power. He came down to visit our people. He came down to visit Abraham and Moses, you know. And also we have his prophecies to prove that he exists today. Woo. All right. So go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
This is Wisdom Solomon 13 and 1.
Let's work it down from you to Magan and then
All right. It says, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is.
Right. Go ahead, speak on it. I missed it. Go ahead.
Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. Man. It says, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Why? Because they don't acknowledge the things that the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has set out here. Like the men that he set up around the four corners of the earth, man. To push this truth, all right, to exalt him. All right, tell you these things before they happen. The ones that's blowing the trumpet. All right, y'all didn't acknowledge the things that he's saying, man. All right, the things that you see going around the four corners of the earth. All right. I got one more.
And basically, if you go back to the snake, the serpent in the garden, that was the whole manipulation tactic right there. They're like, look at how we're living. They don't want you to live like this because we living like gods over here. You know? So basically, they were turned away from worshiping the Father, man.
What they call freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah, we feel free. Free to be wicked. Free in folly.
Free in folly, man. And the thing about it, though, you got to understand how cunning the devil is. He presents everything as being wholesome and good. So, like, you have people that act like you have so many posts on Facebook of people recording themselves around Christmas time, dropping off clothes and food to the shelters for the homeless, celebrating this demonic, you know what I'm saying, wicked holiday, Hellenist Day. Right. Because we know our Lord and Savior wasn't born around that time. That goes all the way back to Nimrod.
That's right, man.
You know? So they make it seem so wholesome and good and as a deception. Because if you knew the true origin of these holidays, you probably wouldn't follow them. You know? So that's why they cover it up and make it look wholesome. They even try to make Halloween look wholesome now, the Day of the Dead.
Right. And a lot of your family members, they really hate each other. And next thing you know, on Christmas, they like, let's put it all to the side. They all worshiping different idols and shit. And they all sit down and praise white Caesar Borgia. And it don't matter if you we believe he's the color of us, because you got a lot of jakes that still, you know what I'm saying, call him Cesare Borgia. I mean, call him Jesus Christos, and they say, well, we know what his true color is, but still you falling behind these demonic holidays, man, right, and calling them by the wrong name. So it don't matter if you get the color right, you know, you're right, still being wicked. Yep, you're worshiping them falsely, man.
All right, this is Sirach 33 and 7. It says, why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day and the year is of the sun.
Right, man. So, go ahead, read that again.
Come on. All right, Sirach 33 and 7. It says, why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day and the year is of the sun.